First, though, a question. How many is too many when it comes to foreign students studying in Australia at both our universities, TAFE colleges, and even at our high schools? An industry often praised for its contribution to our bottom line of an export industry. Now, Education Minister Jason Clare announced yesterday that he will increase the student intake in 2026 by another 25,000 students. So what, you ask? Well, that means the nation's international student intake next year, 2026, will be 295,000 students, up from a cap of 270,000. Clare says, quote, "International education doesn't just make us money, it makes us friends. This is about making sure international education grows in a way that supports students, universities and the national interest." 295,000 fee-paying students filling the university coffers and spending their money mainly in Melbourne, that takes in most of them, and in Sydney, plus in Canberra. Well, what can be wrong about that, you ask? Well, rents and student accommodation, for one thing. The minister claims the universities will build their own accommodation. Where are they going to get the tradies from? But anyone who has spent any time near one of these institutions will know high-rise apartment blocks are full of two-bedroom apartments being shared by multiple students from overseas. Many of these kids have their parents, mainly from China, Southeast Asian countries like Malaysia and especially India. They buy up real estate for them to live in during their studies. It's an investment property. Well, this places even more pressure on housing and apartment prices and, of course, makes the rental market less affordable. Strangely, it was the opposition that opposed a Labor plan to actually cap student numbers last year at 270,000. So I guess they will be happy with nearly 300,000 student numbers to be included in any discussion we now have about migration numbers, the ability of our cities to absorb so many people, what it does to public transport, to the health system, and what it does to housing. I mean, no one seems to want to have this discussion. Apparently the solution, if you live in Melbourne, is to work from home to avoid impossibly choked traffic, crowded trains and trams. Minister Clare, in announcing the boost, said this is about to make sure international education grows in a way that supports students, universities and the national interest. You just wonder if the minister has spoken to local Australian university students crowded out of lecture theatres, denied places and forced to endure a less than perfect university education in their own country. And the man in charge of our visa system, Tony Burke, made this optimistic claim that student visa processing supports genuine education outcomes. A reference, of course, to dodgy education outfits that allow students to enrol but who really end up riding electric scooters around our major cities, delivering takeaway food with the dream of being allowed to live here permanently. Now, one would think, in the middle of a housing crisis, as our cities become more and more crowded by the day, that someone at the top, very least, pause the existing number who would be on their way here. But I guess when you have a revenue issue with your budget, every little bit counts.